everyone. Welcome to Free Your Voice, Free Your Life. I'm pretty excited about this topic. This topic kind of just bubbled up this morning, and I'm pretty excited to share it with you. Just about an hour ago, I looked at the clock, and it said 11:11. And whenever that happens lately, which it's been happening a lot lately, where I look at the clock and see 11:11, there's some kind of message there for me. So this was the message, and I wanted to share it with you today. So what does this have to do with our voice? Believability, focus, mindset, and awareness. So that's what we're talking about today. And really what we're going into is some old programming, working with old programming, updating the system, and taking a look at what our awareness is really telling us so that we can open our voice and have more of the life that we really want to. We really have more freedom in our lives. So if these topics are interesting to you, be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow this whole 30-day series with us. My name is Abraxas, and I love helping people remember their greatness. So let's dive in. Believability. That word came to me this morning. Believability is that we're all treated a certain way growing up, right? Even as babies. And what makes us believe in the programming that comes our way? And what came to me this morning is that, when we're given the program of you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you should not sing, you should not open your mouth, you should be seen, not heard, all that kind of stuff, go back where you came from type of thing. That's all of that is kind of shutting down our voice. And when we had a voice and someone said that to us, it kind of snuffs us out. Where here we are trying to be our authentic selves through our voice, being vulnerable, being in the world, trying, sneaking our head out of our little shell and coming into this world as new babes. Let's give this a try. And then all of a sudden, somehow it's smacked down with certain programming. What makes us believe it? What makes us believe that programming? And today I thought, is it because we actually get something out of it? Do we buy into it? Do we make it believable for us because we're getting something out of it? Because would an infinite being really buy into some of this stuff? Well, perhaps we believe some of this old programming first off because we're like, this is cool. I'll get this, and this out of that. Let's just go there. What made me think of this morning is I was on my way driving my son to school or to camp, and he started talking about having social anxiety. And I had mentioned that I wanted him to maybe look into a certain high school, and he was like, can't have social anxiety, can't, have to stay here. And I just watched how quickly he used the social anxiety program card, if you will, instead of just being like saying, being in the present moment and going into awareness. All right. So the believability, and then there's awareness. And when we let our old programs take over, we've somehow believed them and bought into them. And we kind of shut down awareness in the present moment. So if someone asked you to sing and use your voice or go do public speaking, and you had this moment of trigger of like, no, that's old programming and something that you believed in at work. And today what I want to do is try to get that old programming to kind of go away if you want it to. But perhaps you may still be getting something out of that old program. For example, when I was a teen, I had an eating disorder. And I remember whenever they would refer to me with my eating disorder or something like that, I remember there was something odd that I kind of liked the attention. And so for years, trying to get over this eating disorder, I realized that I still kind of liked the certain attention that I was getting from it. And the awareness started to build up. And I started to be like, well, what if I could get my needs met in a different way. And so talking to my son today, I was just like, maybe you could get what you want in a different way without having to keep believing you have social anxiety, because the thing is that really inhibits our voice and inhibits our life. It creates certain chains on our life. And what we're talking about today is really freedom, vocal freedom, personal freedom, life freedom. So how do we take the things that we believed in and change that programming? Well, in the comments below, if you feel like joining and participating in this, what I'd like to hear is start to become aware of of a old messaging, right? Of you can't sing, you can't carry a tune. If someone said that to you in your life, they said that to you and you believed it. In this moment right now, I'm asking for you to take responsibility for owning that and buying into that belief system. So I know this is kind of hard work to take that type of responsibility for that negative programming, but somewhere along the line, we believed it. Now, I always think of people's lives who they had pretty tough programming, but they didn't buy into it. I think of, oh gosh, what's his name? It just was on the top of my head. Well, I'll get back to it. But there's many people that have had pretty negative upbringings, yet they did not let that programming in. They didn't buy into it, and they kept. Wayne Dyer, that's it. Wayne Dyer had an awful upbringing. He was in and out of foster homes. He had a father that really was awful to him, and yet he became this psychological expert, and then into this spiritual awakened state, and he shared so much and changed the world in a lot of different ways. And he let go of a lot of programming along the way, and in a lot of ways never really even bought into some of the program. So where in our lives can we change this old program? Focus on something else, find a different mindset, and let our awareness lead the way in the present moment. I have found that using vocal awareness and doing vocal work really helps this process, because it puts us into a vulnerable, immediate trigger. So if I asked you to go into the other room and go sing Row, Row Your Boat to the first person you see, would you be like, sure, let's go do this? Or would you be like, okay. See, that okay is the old programming at work. And that gives you a moment in time here to say, oh, what belief system is this? And how, where and why did I believe it? And so as a little person, you might have believed something because you wanted another hug. Whereas in middle school, if you believed the choir teacher that you don't have a voice, it's just that works for me. I want to be taking another class anyway. So you really kept that belief alive. Well, now it's time to say, none of that's true anymore. So where do we want to focus our mindset? Henry Ford once said, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are right. And that has to do with your mindset. What do you want to believe now? And so to buy into a belief, you have to believe that you're going to get something out of it. You believed the old programming that you were getting something out of it. That's out of the way now. We've made a decision that it's just too uncomfortable to stay in that belief system. When I was a little girl, I was very, very shy. And when I was really shy, I got out of some things, right? So being a shy little girl, I could hold on to Dad's leg and I didn't have to go play with all the kids. Or, I didn't have to go to certain events because I was shy. It was really working for me. But I kept that belief going, and then I got to be a teenager, and that shyness really wasn't working for me anymore. But now I was in a cage of shyness because I had kind of created that reality, and now it became a limitation. So I remember in my teens, I was like, you know what? this is so uncomfortable. I have to break free. And I went and I tried out, I went and did an audition. I sang for a part in the choir for the school play. And it was the most uncomfortable experience in my life. But I remember doing the audition, and I remember the principal being like, whoa, Rebecca, we didn't know you had that huge voice in you. And I was like, yeah, I do. And from that moment on, I remember the shyness starting to just go away, because no longer was I really getting anything out of it. So, mindset. How about your voice matters? Your voice is the connection to the infinite beingness you are that the planet needs right now. What about that belief? Can you take responsibility for that belief? Can you see what that belief can create in your life? Not even past your voice, in your whole life and into the whole planet. Your voice matters. Your voice is the potent voice of the infinite possibility for our planet. Would you be willing to let go of the old programming and be that belief? Be that mindset. Find the believability in it and find the focus there. And the cool part about it is your awareness will help you lead the way here. The present moment awareness will help you every time. So, if something feels heavy to you, it's usually a lie. If something feels light, it's usually true. But it doesn't mean lightness doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So, for example, my first open mic, I became a songwriter in my bedroom, in the privacy of my bedroom. I became a songwriter in my early 20s. And every once in a while I would play a song for someone. Well, I played a song for my best friend, and she was a musician, and she's like, that's it, we're taking you to an open mic. And I was like, whoa. I was like, these aren't real songs. Like, I can't go sing these in front of people. And she was like, she was not going to have it. She dragged me to my first open mic, and it felt so light, and I was so excited, but I was so uncomfortable. That's awareness. It was light. I was going for it. Yes, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't heavy. Heavy means that it's imploding on you, and the flow of your soul is not happening, right? Going to an open mic, I could feel the flow of my soul happening. It was uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. There was standing room only. I got up on stage. I was shaking, trying to play my guitar. Yet, it was that moment in time that gave me the awareness, I'm going to keep doing this. I have something to share with these songs, and my voice this is my soul journey. And so, your awareness will lead you with your mindset and your focus. And it's time to get out of that old programming. All right. So, my dear ones, this is not an easy topic. It's hard to take responsibility for what we bought into, for perhaps being treated poorly by people. It's hard to take responsibility for owning that programming. But it is time. And the word responsibility is the word that came to me at 11:11 this morning. I came up with this around 10:30 this morning. And then at 11, and I felt complete, and I practiced it a little bit. And then at 11:11, I was like, whenever I see those words lately, I go down to my notebook. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. What's the message? What they really wanted, what the universe wanted me the word to use was responsibility. It is time to take personal responsibility for our self-expression, for our voice, for our beingness, for our lives. And guys, we have to set the example, because you're here, you're willing to do the personal growth, the consciousness work, and we have to be the beacons of light and life for others to jump on this consciousness bandwagon here and take that old programming and say, yeah, no more. we really have to step up to that responsibility and be the light for others to step into that responsibility too. It is the time of great awakening, and your voice really matters right now. So I hope these concepts and this talk was helpful to kind of to go in to where some of your own limitations are and your own blocks to your freedom and your voice. And you can really take these words and play with them and see where you believed people's messaging to you. And is it okay to stop believing that now? Is it time that that thought process is no longer living, like helping you live greater, it's helping you live less? So that's the choice you need to make from there. And once you make that choice, then new programming can come. And that new program is awareness in the present moment and focus. So, all right, beautiful beings. If this was helpful, you'd like to follow the whole 30-day series, please subscribe to my channel. I'll post my YouTube replay down in the comments. And good luck with this. I'd love to hear in the comments how this landed, what you're working with. I do give free discovery calls if you would like some support unraveling some of this. Have a free discovery call. Let's see if we're a match to work together. All right. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm talking about the diaphragm, the pelvic floor, and the soft palate in a little bit more depth, and how those are related, and how we can open the voice even more with awareness in these areas. Bye.